What's up, guys? In the shop today. Weather here kind of took a turn yet again. It is 40 degrees out. It rained yesterday morning. Or no, we had snow yesterday morning, but it's gone. It's 40 degrees. The lake is soft. There's open spots. It's kind of sketchy. Had some accidents on the lakes around here, so that's kind of off limits for now. They're calling for some snow maybe later on this week. It's got to get cold again. So I'm going to take the time I have today, and I think we're going to do the seat cover on this today. Not my favorite job. It's actually one of my least favorite jobs. Not necessarily time consuming, but I like them to fit just about perfect, and it's pretty difficult. So you guys have seen the videos on this one and my 700. I know the audio was kind of crappy on the last one when I was doing those interviews. It was really windy. It was cold out, and the GoPro was mounted on the outside of my helmet, so that's why I sounded like I was underwater. So today should be a little better. I did just about everything on this sled. I was completely blown apart except for the seat cover. It was one of those deals where I had to take it apart, so I went through the stuff that I could, and I got it all together. I rode it for the first time last winter. I have 197 miles on it. The seat cover was kind of the least of my worries. So this past summer, I ordered 2 seat covers, one for my last project, and I figured I'd knock this one out too. So this is one I already did. Did this one a few months ago. Turned out great. I did the decals myself. I'm actually going to add a checkered to the back flap on this one, and also do the same on the 800. But yeah, this is a finished product one. So yeah, I'll give you guys a go on how I do it. Everybody does it their own way. It's really difficult to do by yourself. I highly recommend having a buddy or maybe 2 guys helping you. This is my 5th or 6th seat cover, so I got a pretty good idea on how they go and how to do it. It's still very difficult to do by yourself. It's the stapling, it's the stretching. It's tough, but yeah, I'll use the time I got today to give her a go. Let me know what you guys think. Just show you the way I do it. I'll start with draining whatever gas is left in it. I believe there's like a 1/4 tank. I'll siphon that out as much as I could. And then the whole rear tail section has to come out. There's 2 bolts that hold the back of the seat down behind this reflector. So reflector's got to come off, and then there's 2 snaps, one on either side, that is up under the shrouds here. So I just loosen the shroud, kind of get it up out of the way so I can slide the seat out. Yeah, take the fuel line off, and the fuel level sending unit has to be unplugged. A little pro tip before I go any further. I measure the seat, the decal, to the tunnel. Not the bottom of the light, to the tunnel on the front and the back. Just so you know where the new decals are supposed to be placed. And then for reference, they're in line with the 2 screws that hold on the brake light lens. So keep that in mind. So when you go to put the decals on, you're not kind of lost, because I've done it a few times before. This one, like I said, my most recent one, I got wise on that. So this one measured out kind of weird. It was 5 1/4 in the back and 5 1/16 in the front. So it's got a little tilt to it. I don't think I'm gonna put the tilt back into it, but keep that in mind. All right, we got the seat off. It was easier just to leave this hooked up to the tank. It'll be easier when I go to put it back on too, because I can just slip these in between the oil tank and the air box, rather than trying to take it off back here. I just put a 1-way check valve on the breather, just so when I flip it upside down, whatever residual gas is in there doesn't come leaking out. And then this is your sending unit plug that I was talking about. So after you get the seat off, this whole back part's got to come apart. All I did so far was take the lenses off, You gotta take these 3 screws out, take the light bulbs out, and then this part of the housing will come off. Make sure to pay attention to the plugs. One will be yellow and the other one will be orange. Orange will be your brake light, yellow will be your running light. And then once you get those 2 off either side, you got to drill out these rivets, because this is riveted to the actual plastic seat frame. You need to take this off so you can get the staples that are right in here, the fun ones. So we'll go ahead and start doing that. Like I said, I left the shroud on. All I did was take the sides out just enough so the shroud will tip, and was able to unplug everything. Don't forget to unplug your rear running light plug. The seat will start coming off like you got everything, and you'll snag that. Keep that in mind. So I'm gonna remove all these, and then we'll probably flip the seat over. I'll show you the lovely staples in the bottom of these. All right, here we are, back again. I got the rear plate off. I drilled that all out, and that is why she can get to those staples. Simple. It's 7 rivets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not that middle hole. And then this is what I was talking about with the wiring. Yellow and brown is your running. Orange and brown is your signal for your brake light. So I fixed this side when I had the seat off originally when I did the project. It was coming undone. But this side has all the old staples. You can see them, they're real rusty. Kind of a pain in the butt. I must have taped this. So I'll peel the tape off. And then I got a dedicated flathead screwdriver that I go through. And I kind of pry them up. As many of them as I can. Like I'll do this whole back row. And then I got some side cutters that I'll sit there and take every single staple out. And I do it all the way around. So this part's a little tedious. But once this is off, all the staples are out. You undo this front cable on this side. Take this nut off. Slide the cable out. Take the gas cap off. I just robbed the gas cap off my new one because it's just a regular plastic one. I don't want my billet one getting scratched up on the table. Make sure the grommets off. You'll push through the nylon strap, the buckle. It's right there. Push the buckle through, and the seat cover comes right off. Yeah, it's kind of straightforward. And then you're off to putting the new one on, and the headache starts. So I'll get to it. All right, so here's what I got so far. As you can see, I come through, and I get them the majority of the way out, all the way down. On these ends, there's always like 5 or 6 staples in a row. Same with these corner seams. And then I come through with my side cutters, and I'll just kind of grab them and pry them out. But this is that screwdriver I was talking about. I got it ground down, so it's kind of sharp. So don't get your fingers. And also, be careful not to get anywhere, puncture this from this line forward or from here down, because that's the gas tank. I got it a little bit right here, but there's no gas tank there. So I'm gonna take these staples out, put them out the back, then I'll flip it over and I'll do the other side. Alright, I got all the staples out. I got the cable out the front. I took the collar off this, gas cap's off. I undid the nylon strap from the trunk going through. I did forget to mention that the locks, the original locks, these are riveted to the actual trunk. So I just drilled those out. So now, I mean, this thing, it comes right off. There's that strap. I used a long zip tie as a fish tape to get it through, because that's kind of a bugger to get through there. But this is a cable. It runs through this channel. Yeah, that's it, man. Cover on here, and then I'll fish this cable through. That's what I always do first. I'll get this tightened down so that way this side will not move. So when you go to pull the back of this down, you pull it tight. So I'll show you once we get there. All right, one thing I forgot to mention, guys. before you put your new seat cover on, or before you even start going down that road, just go through here and see if there's any broke off staples in here that are poking through just a little bit. What I'll do is I'll take a ball peen hammer and just tap them in. That way it doesn't start cutting or fraying your new cover, you know, in time. You know, like I said, just come through. You'll feel them, man. Like there's one right there. They hurt, they snag. So either try to get them out or hammer them in flush so it doesn't damage your new cover. Alright, so this is where I'm at so far. I got this on pretty loose just to help with the stretching. This was tight, but that's the proper way to get it through. Like I said, I put a long zip tie on that plastic collar. I fished it through into the trunk. And then I actually had to put the seat on the ground and kneel on that buckle to get some more slack to get it to go through. I got it. Kneeling on it helped a lot. So this is the initial. Now's the time when I start looking at everything where the seams are, making sure everything's square. I look at the seams up top here where they come around. Just trying to make sure that when you go to pull the sides, the whole seat cover's not off to one side, off kilter. So now that when you staple it down, there's a lot of material over here, but there ain't much over here, and the whole seat's kind of off to one side. So this is the beginning. Once I get this back corners, once I get these cinched down, which is the hardest part, is the beginning, then I'll start tightening this down. Like I said, I got this on fairly loose right now just to give me some extra slack around the back. With my stapler, before I even start trying to put any staples in this, figure out the proper air pressure. So when you staple it, it goes through the leather, but it doesn't go all the way through the leather like the flat part of the staple. I've had it where that's been turned up too high and it just ripped a straight line right through it because it just went straight through the leather. And so what I'll do is I'll leave it like this. I'll flip it up on its side, this whole seat, and hang on, I gotta set this down. I'll do a couple test staples into this just to see how it's stapling. You know, you want it to be the back strap of the staple just to be touching this, so it doesn't rip all the way through this. So, Harbor Freight stapler, Harbor Freight air pressure gauge. Real straightforward, stainless staples. You can get them at Harbor Freight too. So I'll show you what it looks like once I get started. These corners, when you put them in, you know, pull them in and then put 3 or 4 or 5 staples right across that, because those corners take a lot of stress. So, and then once you get your corners started, you can do the back. You don't pull too much in the middle, because if you take this, you undo these, then the leather will pull down and it'll just look weird in here. So tight on the corners, a little snug in the middle, and then you start going around the sides all the way around. Just do a couple at a time, flip the seat back flat, and make sure you're not pulling the whole cover over to one side. You know, take your time with this. I've done seats where I did the whole side and then I come back to do the other side and I flip it like this and the whole thing's crooked. And if you're good and you put your staples in far enough, you can take them out, move the seat cover over a little bit, re-staple them. If you went too close to the edge originally, when you take them out to move the seat cover over, now you're going to see holes all the way down. So, bear in mind, take your time. The more you stretch it, the better it'll look. Don't worry about overstretching it. It will calm down and it will stretch over time and get comfortable. But for the initial install, man, you kind of have to get them on there real tight. Real tight. And then over time, they just get comfortable. And that's your finished product. Alright, I got the corners down. So what I'm saying about this middle, if you pull it too tight in the middle, see it's Velcro. But this section right here, these aren't riveted. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, you could drill these out, excuse me, and you could rivet it to this plastic like they are behind here from the factory. But if you pull on this too much, it starts to pull the Velcro. So what I like to do is I just leave it on, leave it closed, leave it latched, like it normally resting wants to be. And then the center section, I just pull on it just a little bit just to give me something to staple. The sides is where you're really going to pull on it. So right now, it's pretty square. I got the seams pretty good. I had to pull this back quite a bit. There was a lot of slack in these corners, but that's going to come out when I flip it up on the side and I go to roll this edge over. I'm really going to pull on it. I'm really going to tug this back nice and tight. And I'll get to about here on both sides. Flip it upright again. Check it just to make sure we're still square. It should turn out just like any other seat. Again, take your time. Only do a few staples at a time. I had to put 3 or 4. I think I got 3 in each corner, right over the seam, under here, to hold it nice and tight. If you only do one, it'll pull it right out. So, and once I start rolling, I'll probably put 2 more on that seam. It's real good part to have secured, I guess you can say. So now I'm gonna flip it up on its side. I'm probably gonna start with this side. Like I said, the actual bottom of the cushion is actually back here. So what I do is I grab it, pull it real tight, grab the slack back here, pull it backwards and down, put some staples in, we'll see how it looks. Once I get to about here, like I said, I'll do both sides. I might tighten this up. It really doesn't need much right now. Maybe I'll wait towards the end to tighten it up. But, yep, keep on trucking. Alright. So just like I said before, I did a few staples, both sides, about the same distance. Get them going. These I kind of pulled, you want to pull it backwards, try to suck this step in a little bit tighter. And these really, you really want to tighten these sides down because there's a lot of space there. But about both sides. It's going not too bad. I'll do this at the end, this tail. I'm not too worried about the tail part. That's just a simple cinch down. It's just making sure that I'm getting the seat cover put on square side to side. That's what I was just doing. It looks like I can pull this side down a little more. Looks like it's favoring this side a little bit, but again, the only time you really see that is if you're sitting at the back of the sled looking at it and you're really looking at it. Because if you're standing to the side, all you see is this side. So I'll keep on moving. Alright guys, I got it all put back together. It wasn't too terrible. I did have a little bit of a hard time getting the snaps on the side and the front here. It's the part that holds the front of the seat down. They were pretty tight. I was really having to stretch on those pretty hard. But I got them. So those are on. Got my bolts back in with my extra nuts to make sure those bolts don't come out the back. I did start it, made sure my taillights worked, made sure the gas gauge was reading. Yeah. All in all, it went well. It came out good. Looks good, right? I mean, not bad for just doing it by yourself. I thought it came out all right. It's pretty square. I mean, it's never going to be perfect because the stitching's never going to be perfect. You know, if you're really that anal about it, I mean, I guess you could try to do it yourself, but I mean, that's the best you're going to get right there. So it's kind of a finishing touch. She's a little dirty right now from riding around in the lake, so I'll get her cleaned up. I'll do another video once I get some decals. I don't have those yet. I'll do a video on ironing those on, but yeah, all in all, came out really well. Like I said, some of these wrinkles and stuff, these will come out once it sees some sunlight and get a little heat on it. So yeah, not too bad. Hopefully we get some snow here soon. Let me know if you guys like these how-to videos. I had to cover. I didn't have anything to do. I was like, screw it. I'll go put that cover on. I'm like, maybe I should make a video out of it. See what the guys think. Guys and girls. So, cool, man. Pray for snow. Get out there and wrench on your stuff.